All right, joining us now, getting a chance to talk to a young lady who made some history this weekend in Chapel Hill on Friday, throwing her second perfect game of her career, becoming the second North Carolina Tar Heel to throw multiple perfect games in a career and counting. I speak of Britton Rogers. Get a chance to talk to her for a few minutes. How does it feel when I say that sentence there, that you're part of a unique history there in North Carolina?
It's um it's a little unbelievable. It was something that I wasn't aware of, obviously, but it's really exciting for me to be a part of it, and I'm really excited that I get to be in the history books here at UNC. It's obviously every pitcher's dream to leave some sort of legacy on the program, so just really excited to be in that company.
Did you know you had a perfect game going? I'm always fascinated. Some pitchers know, some don't. Where did you know on Friday that you were throwing a perfect game?
I did. I knew in like the second inning that this could be a possibility.
Was that because you felt that good?
I felt pretty good, and our offense was off to a really hot start. And so I was like, okay, I can keep it rolling. And then the third came around, and I was like, okay, this is happening. This is going to happen today.
Oh, that's a good point because you jumped out to the big league. You're thinking, hey, you got a shot there. Were players talking to you during the game?
Not they were, but just normal. No one mentioned anything as they're supposed to. If they would have, I probably just would have given them a blank stare, like, what are you talking about?
At least they didn't ignore you because I know in times sometimes players will ignore you if you're throwing a perfect game or a
Oh
nine.
no, everyone was acting normal. Like it was just a normal game.
How does this perfect game compare to the other one you threw?
Um, I feel like they're pretty similar. Last year, it was coincidentally, it was my first start last year as well. So that is the same thing that happened this year. Um, but yeah, I think last year I was unaware of it because for some reason I was thinking we needed more runs to run roll. So I was not as aware of the fact that the fifth inning was when we were gonna win last year. And so everyone started like going crazy before I did last year. But this year it was the opposite. I threw the last pitch and I knew.
That's funny. So one you didn't weren't as sure. This one you were. Do you prefer knowing? Do you prefer not knowing? Like now that you've because you've done it both ways.
I feel like it was the I don't know. I think this one probably was better because I was more locked in. Like the last batter I went down 2-0 and I was like, no, absolutely not.
That's a great line. Let's talk about this team this year. You're off to a good start. You're part of this deep pitching staff. Describe this pitching staff that you're a part of this year.
I feel like this pitching staff is one where we've acknowledged that we're going to have to work together for success. And we know that we play off of each other really well. Like each of us have unique things that makes us different. And when we have to come in behind one another, it works well. Like Kenneray is predominantly drop. Um, Nikki has her own little twang being lefty. Me and Lily are both right-handed, and then Janelle and Alex are both spinny. And so it's just a really good mix for us all to work together and have each other's backs. And I think that something special we have is that we really do want each other to succeed. And we have one goal as a team, and we know that for that to happen, we're all going to have to work together. And not one person's going to be the star, but whenever you get your opportunity, you do your best and you pass the ball when your time is done.
What's it like learning under Coach Maddie Hulub? There, your pitching coach.
Yeah, Coach Holub is she has helped me tremendously. I feel like this past year I've grown a lot. As a pitcher, she really listened to what I thought I needed to do to get better, and she facilitated that for me. Um, we hammered what we thought we needed to do to get better, and it's worked great. I think she is listening. She listens to what we need. She helps us, and she's just an ally in the bullpen to us and will go to war for us. And that's what makes us want to go out there and do the same for her.
How are you mentioned the growth of your game over the offseason? How are you different today than you were a year ago when you were making your Tar Heel debut?
I think that my main focus was locking in on a couple pitches rather than trying to make everything as a whole better. So I really honed in on three pitches that I thought could make me successful. And those are the three pitches that I decided to get better at this fall and make it to where I've always been very confident in my changeup, but I wanted to make it to where when my other pitches got called, I felt the same confidence and I could go at hitters the same way that I go at them with my off speed.
Describe playing for Coach Megan Smith Lyon, who's obviously an alum, North Carolina. You committed to playing with her for her first year. Now she's in her second year.
She is simply just an inspiring woman to play for. She has changed the way that I look at softball. She has tremendous leadership and she loves North Carolina and she loves this softball team and you can tell. And she wants us to feel the same way about UNC that the way she feels about it, where this has become our home and she's just amazing to play for. I mean, I knew it when I first came here that she was something special, and it has been nothing short of that. She makes us all feel loved every day and supported, and she's just lit a fire in me again. And I think in a lot of players that we maybe at times has dwindled over our college careers, but she makes it to where when we put on North Carolina across our chest, we want to go to war and we want to do some damage and change the narrative that has been written these past couple of years at UNC.
How long did it take you to adjust to life in Chapel Hill? Was it a quick adjustment, or take me through that transition once you made the decision, obviously, to come to North Carolina after spending your first couple of years at Georgia?
It was pretty smooth. I mean, I will say I loved Athens, had a lot of fun, and so I was sad to leave it and some of my friends that were there. But I love North Carolina. I might spend the rest of my life here, honestly. It's awesome. It's a really fun place. I like the atmosphere. School is great. We're getting incredible education and the girls, everyone comes in here with just an open heart and that's what they did for me and that's what I've done for the girls that have come in here because we had so many transfers this year and I was a transfer last year and everyone's just welcomed us with open arms and let us be who we are as players and people. And it's been really smooth. This place is really fun. We love it.
What's the biggest advice you've given the new faces this year?
I think just to enjoy it. Like this being my fifth year, I mean, I am not even technically supposed to be playing college softball. I just got injured one year. And so I feel like I'm living on borrowed time sometimes. So I just tell them to enjoy it and to have fun. Obviously, we're going to work hard. There's no question about that. So enjoy what you're doing and things will work out the way they're supposed to.
You mentioned that with the injury, you have the extra year. Do you feel you're playing with house money? Do you take, kind of appreciative of this year? Like, hey, I'm going to take advantage of this extra year I got.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you would have told me in high school that I'd be in college for 5 years and would have transferred, I probably would have said no way. But it's happening and I'm grateful for every second that I'm here. I've met people here that will be in my life for hopefully forever. And so I take that as a sign that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And if I'm here, I might as well try and go out and win. That's the way I see it. So
Well, and you've got a pretty good team there. Talk about the offense because clearly they've hit the ball really well, helped you get that perfect game. You mentioned it, like, ooh, we got a lot of runs here. That's got to be exciting as a pitcher to know you've got an offense that's going to back you there and score some runs.
yeah, absolutely. We are 1 through 9 are solid. Even our slappers, I hate facing them in practice because I'm like, I don't know where to throw it because you're just gonna chop it over my head, or you could hit a shot in the gap. And we're solid 1 through 9, and we have people that can come off the bench and go up there and hit the ball hard as well. And it is nice. Obviously, as a pitcher, having offensive support makes your life easier. And so I'm just really proud of the work that they've put in, Coach Lyon working with them, and everyone being willing to make changes and adjustments, all because we just want the Tar Heels to win.
Now you've made some history for yourself here. So do you get to brag there to your mom and say, "Hey, you're not the only one in the family that's made some history here. I can make history."
We haven't, I actually didn't see her last night because she wasn't there, which,
Whoa!
which is crazy. If anyone knows my mother, that she does not miss games, but with it being rescheduled, she had like prior arrangements that she just couldn't make it to. But my dad was there, who also was a pitcher, but and he wasn't there for my last perfect game. So I was like, well, now you each have seen one, but not together.
Maybe they can't come together then. Maybe
I know.
that's
I
the key.
thought that thought crossed my mind. Like, that's not real. But
That's too funny.
yeah, we
Uh,
haven't talked about it too much in person. I'll see her for the first time in person after the game. But no, she was just supportive as can be. She was just proud. And so
Speak of your parents. You grew up in an athletic family. I think people are familiar with your mom, obviously Courtney
mhm.
Blades Rogers, who's a legend in the sport, but may not know about your dad's background, who also was a pitcher. Just describe for those that may not be aware.
Yeah, so both my parents pitched at the collegiate level at Southern Miss. And um, my mom's coach was my coach my freshman year at Georgia. And they both were starting pitchers and they both had really great college careers. So my mom's been my coach my entire life. And she's obviously amazing, no doubt about that. And she's been a great resource for me to have any ups and downs. She's gone through it. And my dad's more so just a little more hands off when it comes to softball, and he's always just the supportive one. Well, she'll be the one that can help me and critique if I'll say anything that needs critiquing. My dad's just there to support, but they're both great and they know it's. I guess some would say they would like it. Some would say they wouldn't. Like when the game's over, we can have a real conversation about it because they understand it. But other times I'm like, oh, I don't even want to hear it right now.
That's amazing, though. Like two pitchers. Your parents are both pitchers. It's almost like you
Yeah.
were destined to be a pitcher,
I
right?
told my teammates that because I have what I like to call pitcher hands. And they're like, I'm like, y'all, I was literally bred for this. Like, of course, my body is built to pitch.
It's a good line. You mentioned obviously, yes, both you and your mom played for Lou Harris Champer,
Mhm.
which is kind of a cool thing, bonding there for the family there.
Yeah.
What was that like to share that? Because you both have gotten to share a lot of cool moments throughout your career here.
It was great. I loved playing for Coach Lou. I think she was a little bit different by the time she coached me than when she coached my mom, which was interesting when we would talk to each other, seeing like the different styles of coaching. Obviously, coaches have to evolve over time as well. And I guess that was like, I don't know, 20 years later. So
No, it's fair. It's fair.
yeah,
That's a fun call.
it was really special, especially my freshman year. We went to the World Series. So it kind of being a full circle moment. Obviously, my mom played at the World Series with Coach Lou and me getting to pitch for her at that stage. It really was a full circle moment for my whole family and for her. And she was my biggest supporter. She was my mom's biggest supporter, and she still is. They have a great relationship, and she was a fantastic coach to play under. So it's always an experience that I'm grateful for as well.
Did you and your mom take a photo at OKC when you got there to the World Series? I mean, how many mom-daughter combos could say been in Oklahoma City for the World Series?
I'm sure we do. I definitely have pictures of them in the stands, but it was a really cool. It was cool. It was cool to look up and see them there and know that she had pitched on that exact same mound as I did. So it was awesome. It was an experience that I'll never forget for sure.
Do they get nervous when you pitch?
I think so.
Oh wow, I've
Yeah.
always been intrigued by that. Okay.
Yeah. She tells me that she does. It's because this past year I would go and watch some baseball games and my boyfriend pitched and I would get nervous when he would go out there and she was
Oh,
like, now you see how I feel. She yeah, so she definitely does get nervous when I go out there and pitch, but once she realizes that I've settled into the game, she's probably fine.
that's funny. Like I mean, you would think she would understand, but no. Yeah, parents get nervous no matter what, even if they have been in the same shoes, right? Like, that's just
Yeah.
kind of funny there. Uh, what has been your favorite aspect of being a student athlete at North Carolina?
Hmm. I think I'm always a very academically motivated person. So I think it's been nice coming here and that being a big part of this school is academics. And so I've really enjoyed that aspect and being around a lot of student athletes that really care about their grades. Because at times I felt like I was kind of not the only one, but one of few that sometimes cared a little bit too much about their grades, but everyone cares that much here. And so that's nice to be surrounded by. But I also really love just the loyalty that fans have to this place.
Yeah.
It has a really long history and a rich history of success. And it's exciting to watch other sports succeed and just be a part of that tradition of winning that they have here.
Have you gone to North Carolina basketball games? I would assume you
For
checked
sure.
bucket list.
Absolutely.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
I
That's
got to
like a
go to the
bucket
Duke
list.
game last year, and that was really
Woo!
fun.
So you got to check out a bucket list. A lot of sports fans. What's it
Yeah.
like to be at a Duke Carolina basketball game?
It was crazy. It was crazy.
That's pretty good. What do you want to
Yeah.
do post softball?
I want to go to medical school.
That's pretty good.
So, yep, I am waiting for that currently.
I know it's a waiting game. It's a process.
Definitely is, for sure.
In the meantime, though, you've got the rest of this season. Tell us a little bit about this team that maybe people are going to start watching you that they need to know about. Maybe either a player or two you need to watch out for, or this team because I know you got big goals internally.
Yeah, we want to make history, and we want to our goal is to make a regional, and we want to make the postseason and do well, and we know that for that to happen, we have to be different. And so I think people just need to know how gritty this team is and how hard we're willing to fight for that goal. Our motto this year has been one team, one fight. And that's what we represent that. We go to war for each other every time we go out there. And we have a lot of new people, and everyone's really excited to wear North Carolina across their chest. And I think that excitement is what drives us and what makes us want to get back to what we know North Carolina can be. And we have a lot of fantastic players, a lot that have transferred in, and some that are returning. We still have Alex Coleman, who's incredible at the plate, and Carly's been hitting great. We have so many. And being a pitcher, obviously I'm on the pitcher side, but I think that we work really well together. I'm excited for our success as a staff.
I can sense your voice. You're having fun. Are you allowing yourself to take it in each moment? Like, hey, don't because I know you're locked in, you're focused each game, but there's these don't come around every day. This is your last year. Do you take a moment each day to kind of take a breath and say, "Ooh, this is cool."
Yeah, I try not to get too much into it. Like some of my teammates have asked me like, "Are you sad?" And I'm like, "No, not right now at this moment." But now that you've made me think about it,
Right.
but I do think about it like when I'm out there and if I'm not pitching, just like sitting and taking it all in, knowing that this is going to end in a couple months, whether I like it or not. And so just being appreciative of the fact that I get to be here and enjoy these last couple months as a student athlete doing what I love.
Well, I certainly look forward to that. I keep enjoying it. It was cool to see you make some history on Friday there, becoming the second Tar Heel pitcher ever to throw multiple perfect games. You're in a career, your second one. Congrats on that. Have a great year. Enjoy it, and hope. Hey, I'm okay if we want to do this again. If you want to keep throwing perfect games, I'm down for
I would
that.
love that too.
All right, but be safe and thanks for taking the time to talk to us here on In the Circle on D1
Yeah.
Softball.
Thank you.